Good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is day 215. I got to see my babies yesterday. They came over and helped me, you know, rake the yard a little bit. That yard was, man, with that renovation, they just threw all this shit in the yard. So I had to shut up. But my babies came, three of them came over and brought one of their friends. I met him yesterday. He was so sweet. He gave me a hug and everything, called me mine. I am healthy. I am whole. I am healed. I am human. I am hopeful. I am me. I had decided today that because I'm not going anywhere from spring break, that I just needed one day of rest. And I was going to just lay in bed all day. But of course, and laying in bed don't really help me because then I get to thinking about my baby. Then I wake up crying. I'm just moping in the bed, just one of them days or moments, I shall say. And I actually was just laying in there, and then eventually I got myself together, got me a little, and then got myself together. Um, Afterwards, I showered, and I wanted to lay back in bed, but everything in me was like, it's a certain time of the day. You need to get up. You need to get up. There's things you need to do. You got ideas in your head that you can't sleep on. And because you on spring break, you have a lot of, free time. And I need you to use this time and not spend it waddling, crying, moping. You got stuff to do. Get up. You ever had to hear self-talk? I do. I think it helps me. So I get myself up. And self-talk is part of self-regulation. You're not going to always have somebody be like, Deborah, Deborah, Debbie, Dave, get up. Gangs, get up. You ain't going to always say that, especially when you solo in it. So you got to have something in you to push you, push. And I was watching my son TikTok video he made with me and him. And I thought about, he loved me, and God knows I love that little boy. Like, we had such the best relationship. We would laugh. He would pick on me, agitate me sometimes, and then bust out laughing, and then I laugh. I'm like, leave me alone. And I was just looking at the TikTok video we did with 10 things about your parents, right? And he was, doing it, and at the end, it was like, if your mom is your best friend, and we just bust out laughing. Because what I've learned through, I was a teenage mom, had my first baby when I was 13, 4 days before my 14th birthday. By the time I graduated from high school, 12th grade, come across the stage, had another baby. So I had my youngest daughter while I was in the 12th grade in February, and graduated in June. Was it June or May? One of them. Still graduated, still went to college, still went to get my master's degree. So I wasn't even supposed to go all day. I was just basically going to tell y'all to always try to be friends with your children. But I guess I had to say that, give the preliminary to let you know that I wasn't always friends with my children. Being a teenage mom, I didn't know what it was to be friends. I was just so strict on my kids, especially my girls. I had them first. And my youngest daughter always said that, you were so strict, you were so strict. But it was like after I had my boys, I was older, I was mature. It was like we developed a friendship and still had that parent relationship. And it's important to have that balance. Yeah, it's good to be strict, da 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 da, but it's also good to be able to laugh with your children, have fun with your children. And I know my boys got a different side of me that my girls never did until they got older. And it's such a good place to be friends with your kids, but also have the boundary to know that they still need to respect you. Not that I'm going out smoking, drinking, and doing those things, especially when they underage. But I'm always going to laugh with them, joke with them, watch TV with them, cut up with them, hang out with them. And that's the things I got to do with my my boys that I not necessarily got to do with my girls. Of course, I took them places. Of course, we went shopping. We did all of the girly things. But just to sit back, and I don't really remember us always sit back laughing and joking because I was so serious. I was so adamant about them not being a teenage mother. Da da da. I was just so strict on them. Where my boys is like, we just cut up like we boys. Like that's my dog. Like my oldest son 1 year. I said him and his brother, they just had me laughing with these greeting cards. And one time, my oldest son got me a card that said, "Happy birthday, dog." But it was really talking about D-O-G, like a dog. I'm like, what? And we just bust out laughing. He was like, "But you are my dog, though. You know we roll. You my dog." He said, "No, man, it was the only cards they had left." Oh my God, we just laugh. I said, "You just did a Julian on me?" Because Julian got me 2 sympathy cards 2 years straight. He ain't read the card, he ain't sign the card, nothing. But then for my birthday, not last year, the year before last, he did get me some sneakers and he did get me a nice birthday card, which I have in this little memorial area in my room, in my apartment. And I just wanted to say that even though you are parents, we are parents, I just want to suggest also spend time laughing and joking and getting to know your kids. Because it pays off. And I'm so grateful that me and we had such a good relationship where we could laugh and joke and I could be serious with him and then he could, But I loved that little boy. I loved him to pieces. So if nothing else, I know I learned. And it's good to be friends with your children. But just have boundaries. Certain things I just would never do with my kids. But I also love to joke and laugh. And Julian was such a jokester. And he would get on your nerves, but then he would turn around and just make you laugh. Like you couldn't be mad at him. Like you could be mad for 1 minute, 1 second. He gonna do something that just make you laugh and forget that you was mad at him. Because that's how he was. He was just such a sweet baby. And just being with his friends yesterday made me think about all Julian. Because it was like Julian was in all, I could see him playing with them, joking with them, talking about football, laughing, cracking on each other. And that's exactly how he was, the same way they are. Just growing up, that's all. Just young men just growing up, trying to make it. So with anything, just love on your children, have fun with your children, laugh with your children. And last but not least, I have to always show y'all my journal. I produced this journal because of the loss of my son. And after losing my son, it really broke me. I mean, I will never be the same. And my therapist, I talked to my therapist last night, and she was basically saying, the postpartum traumatic syndrome, PTDS, and was talking about how I will always have, experienced that at this time. Because when you lose a child to homicide suddenly and you have so many dreams and aspirations for your children and you just never expect certain things, especially if your child not a menace to society, at least for me. I'm speaking on me, for me. I am me. And to really, be okay with that, I don't know if I'll ever be okay. And she was asking, she said, "I see the hurt in your eyes." I said, "Well, that might always be there." And she said, "Well, what do you think will bring you that joy that you once had, before Julian?" And I had to really think about that. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, probably nothing. I don't think nothing will ever fill that void. I'm not 100% sure, but at this day and at this moment and at this time, and at day 215, I don't see nothing replacing it. Because who can replace a son? Nobody. Who can replace a child that you lost? Nothing and no one in my book. So, with that being said, that's why I came up with this. What the fuck? This journal. It's pre-sale. Pre-sales go off April the 9th. So grab your book. Grab your journal. It's a journal. Journal pages for you to write. You are your own author. Want to advertise my book, my journal, my first journal. I believe many will soon come from this. From pain to passion. Thank you for listening. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all I want to say. Bless every prayer whose heart is heavy. In Jesus' name, amen. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. It look Tuesday. Look like the sun is out, so I'm gonna try to go out. Maybe that'll help me with my mood. Okay. Till next time. Bye bye.